We fled to Bend, Oregon, craving silence, a sanctuary where our 2-year-old, Ellie, could chase dandelions barefoot. Across the street, a man watched, his gaze a shadow we didn't yet fear. Mark took a job at the logging mill, his hands roughened by dawn shifts, while I stayed home, Ellie's laughter and tantrums weaving my days. Toddlers cry, it's not cruelty, but life's raw pulse. Ellie's naptime battles erupted in screams, kicks, toys flung in defiance, sometimes fleeting, sometimes a 45-minute storm. Every parent knows this chaos, messy but ordinary. Our neighborhood seemed a haven at first, modest homes, manicured lawns, retirees sipping lemonade. But Ron Abel, late 60s, sat enthroned on his porch, eyes tracking us like a hawk. His porch light burned day and night, his tight-lipped nods a grudging acknowledgement of our existence. When I offered cookies, a gesture of warmth, he cracked his door 2 inches, snatched them as if they were poison, and slammed it shut. No thank you, no words, until the day he struck. Midweek, Ellie's cries echoed like a siren, her nap a battlefield. I juggled laundry, her tiny shirt spilling from my arms, when a knock sliced through, sharp, impatient. Expecting a delivery, I opened the door to Ron, pressed car keys pristine, mug cradled like a prop. You might want to quiet your child, he said, voice cold as stone. Some might think she's in danger. I blinked, stunned. Excuse me. He sipped his coffee, slow and deliberate, eyes locked on mine. If someone called Child Protective Services, well, you never know how they'll respond. He turned, sauntering back, leaving my pulse racing, a drumbeat of dread. I locked the door, the click a frail shield. Ellie, exhausted, slept, her cheeks tear-streaked. That night, I told Mark. His fists clenched, rage flaring, he wanted to storm across the street. No, I whispered, steady despite my shaking core. He wants us afraid. We won't give him that. A week later, another knock, heavier with consequence. A CPS caseworker stood there, badge gleaming, clipboard a guillotine. We received a report of possible neglect, she said, her calm voice ablade. Excessive crying. My breath caught, a vice gripping my lungs. Beyond her, Ron sat on his porch, mug raised like a mocking toast. I let her in, heart pounding. Ellie giggled in the living room, apple slices scattered, cartoons flickering. The caseworker's eyes swept our home, kitchen, bedrooms, diaper stash, her questions clinical. I cooperated, but my mind screamed, him. She wouldn't name the caller, confidential, but Ron's smug gaze told me everything. That moment ignited my resolve. I turned detective, my weapon a spiral notebook. Ellie's cries, over mashed peas or misnap, became time-stamped armor, each tantrum meticulously logged. Ron's movements filled the pages too, his shadow emerging whenever her voice pierced the quiet, his mug a sinister prop in his relentless watch. His vigil grew darker. One night, at 1:15 a.m., a flicker of light caught my eye. Ron, in his robe, aimed a camera at our house, then vanished inside. My chest hollowed, dread swallowing my courage. I installed security cameras, silent sentinels, keeping Mark in the dark until I had proof. By the second night, I caught Ron pacing our yard, slow and deliberate. The third, he crouched behind our garbage cans, staring at Ellie's window, a predator in the moonlight. I printed screenshots, backed up videos, uploaded them to the cloud. Over coffee, I showed the CPS caseworker my evidence, videos, notes, timelines, Ron's chilling threat, his midnight camera. She sat silent, then pulled her file. This isn't his first complaint, she whispered. 4 families on this street, all targeted, all unfounded. My stomach churned, bile rising. He'd terrorized mothers, smirked through their fear, untouchable. She promised to escalate, and I waited, resolve hardening. For a week, Ron's porch sat empty, his light dimmed. Then, one morning, a CPS caseworker knocked on his door. His face crumpled as she spoke, his gaze darting to our house. I stood at my window, hands steady, a faint smile born not of joy but of justice. Days later, 2 officers confronted him, their knocks insistent. Investigators followed, questioning neighbors, their faces grim. Ron vanished from sight, curtains drawn, light off. But the threat lingered. One night, at 11:30 p.m., a metallic click pierced the kitchen's quiet. Peering out, I saw Ron, cloaked in black, creeping along our fence, a flashlight's beam grazing Ellie's window. My cameras captured it all. I showed the detective, my voice iron, do something, or I will. He nodded, face taut. This isn't harassment anymore. It's stalking, possibly worse. They sought a search warrant. Soon, 4 marked cars and a van swarmed Ron's house, emerging with boxes and sealed bags. Ron, escorted out, looked shocked, his untouchable facade shattered. An officer revealed his history: years of anonymous tips targeting single moms, all baseless, one driving a mother to a breakdown, another out of state. A week later, Mark returned from work, his face ashen, an envelope in hand, no stamp, no address, left on his truck. Inside, a photo of Ellie playing, snapped from behind our fence, with a note: "Quiet kids are safe kids. Yours isn't." My knees buckled, terror flooding me. The police found no prints, but the threat whispered, Ron wasn't alone. I fortified our home, blackout curtains, double locks, kept Ellie inside, her questions, "Why can't I play, Mama?" breaking my heart. Sleep fled, I checked windows nightly. Mark came home early, our trust in Ben's quiet gone. I dug deeper, scouring county records. Ron's house belonged to a trust under Earl Stanley Robbins. A California mugshot confirmed it: a registered sex offender, a former teacher convicted in the 90s for misconduct with minors, vanished after 8 years in prison. The eyes were Ron's, grayed, thinner, but unmistakable. How had a predator slipped into our suburb, wielding CPS as a weapon? A loophole in Oregon's registry laws let him hide under a new name, his past buried by lax oversight. I sent the evidence to the authorities. The caseworkers whispered, "Oh my God," echoing my horror. A black SUV parked outside Earl's house, officers moving with urgency, the house soon taped off. At 2:04 a.m., my camera pinged. A figure stood at our fence, younger, taller, no grey hair, hoodie shadowing his face. For 2 minutes, he stared, then vanished. Shaking, I called 911. The police found nothing, but my video was clear. The detectives showed me a photo: Stephen Robbins, Earl's nephew, banned from Oregon, with a Nevada record for trespassing and harassment. It was him. Earl had groomed a successor, their family a syndicate of fear, targeting mothers and children. Neighbors broke their silence. Rachel shared her CPS nightmare from 5 years ago, her toddler's cries weaponized, driving her to her mother's. Cassie recalled anonymous notes, parenting tips laced with threats, once dismissed as pranks. With their consent, I built a timeline, delivering it to the authorities. "You have enough," I said. They nodded, urging caution, "We want it to stick." But Stephen acted first. That Saturday, alone with Ellie, I heard a tap at the back door. Through the window, Stephen's smile gleamed, something hidden behind his back. Fear rooted me, but I hit the security app's emergency button. Alarms blared, shattering the quiet. His smile vanished, he fled. Cameras caught every detail: his face, his intent. Police found him that night in a motel 30 minutes away. With that footage, Earl and Stephen were arrested, charged with stalking, harassment, false reporting, and targeting minors. Bend buzzed with the news, more mothers emerging, one returning from out of state to testify. In the courtroom, silence fell as the gavel struck. Earl, stripped of his smirk, faced 20 years for stalking, harassment, and false reports, his past conviction lengthening the sentence like a chain. Stephen's bravado crumbled as the video of his midnight prowl played, earning 15 years, therapy, and registration as a threat to minors. A revelation stunned us: Earl, a former church volunteer, had hidden his conviction, accessing private records, addresses, schedules, to target families. The church's negligence sparked resignations, their apology hollow. We mothers united, filing a civil suit. After a year, we won. Earl's savings, trust, and house were seized, auctioned, the proceeds ours. I poured mine into the Ellie Fund, a lifeline for single moms facing false accusations or harassment. Stephen's phone revealed photos of Ellie, of other children, sealing his lifelong confinement, a predator molded by his uncle. The city razed Earl's house, the lot standing empty until Rachel proposed a new vision. We built Justice Park, a fenced playground where laughter replaced fear, a plaque bearing the names of every mother who testified. Ellie, now 4, chases butterflies in Justice Park, her laughter a melody untainted by shadows. She recalls only joy, sunlit swings, not locked doors. I carry every scar, trembling hands, sleepless nights, the courtroom's weight. But I stand taller for it. We didn't cower. We made noise, a chorus of mothers that shattered the silence. The Ellie Fund thrives, offering legal aid and safe spaces. Families return, drawn to the park's warmth, where swings creak and children shriek, free from the past. Some nights, I check the locks, a reflex of survival. But as Ellie's giggles echo, I know we reclaimed more than a home. We built a legacy of strength, where love outshines darkness, where justice blooms on a once-tainted lot.